Hey guys, I'm here with Jesse, one of, I don't even know how to introduce you, but really
No
like
introductions,
my
fine.
mentor, my sponsor, someone who followed me and supported me from the very beginning.
Oh.
And when I started, I was like on my 100th, I think, something affirmation when we connected. And I'm just so happy to be sitting next to you. Today I just reached 100,000 followers and it's a
Nice.
special day.
Yes.
And we're always meeting on special moments. And I wanted to introduce Jesse to my followers
Yeah.
and just have a conversation. So, what's up, Jesse? You can introduce
How's it
yourself
going?
as well.
Hi, I'm Jesse.
let's let's start off.
Sorry.
Let's
What did I mean?
cut the
What am I
show.
saying?
Cut the show.
All right. Okay. I'm Jesse.
Yeah.
I'm from Philadelphia. And yeah, I'm a real estate investor, and I am now a venture capitalist. And we'll talk a little bit more about that now. And yeah, it's true. I've been following. Every time we say following, I think
I know.
stalking. I feel like
I know.
you've been following me around town. It's like, what? I was.
No.
No, I don't.
I don't even know where to begin. Our
It's
relationship is so like
Yeah, it's interesting.
intertwined and right.
Yeah, because I remember seeing your affirmation, and I'm like, okay, that was interesting. And then
That was interesting.
and I'm just like, okay, black man, keep scrolling if that doesn't apply to you. And I'm
Right.
like, what? And then you kept coming, and I was like, wow, this is a daily thing. Mm-hmm. And it meant a lot to me. Actually, it was a booster. It's like, yeah, and I'm sure a lot of men, I see the comments on there. They talk about, how it makes them feel.
Yeah.
And it was just it's different. It was something different. It wasn't the noise that you always hear, black man and this and that. It was none of that. It was just like, oh, wow, this is interesting. This is different. And so it became something peaceful to listen to, different than the ratchet stuff we see online,
Yeah, no, thank
Yeah.
you. It's funny that you say that. I
Yeah.
was a booster for you because I feel the same way when I interacted with you. Because the moment that we interacted and we met, you were supporting me, any way you can, and you asked me, how can I support you? And I want like my followers to know, like every comment, every like, every share is a support, is a boost to
Yeah,
me, right?
it is.
Because you're helping me build that confidence I need to keep going.
Yeah.
And then Jesse was one of the first people to actually invest money into me and was like, no, you deserve funding, and from the very beginning, I was excited because I was like, wow, I'm this important that this person is willing to like on a monthly basis, like invest in who I am and get to know me and support me. Like I just felt so important. And like that was another booster for me to keep going. And then you even asked me, I remember on the phone, and I didn't know the answer to it at the time. You were like, Nicole, like how I want to invest in your podcast. Like how can I invest in you? And I was like, I don't even know where I want to go with that right now. And I'm going to put a pin in it. Remember
Wow.
that? I was like, I'm
Yeah.
going to put a pin in it. I don't know. Because it
Wow.
was genuine, but it also
Yeah.
felt good. And so to, put out good energy online to black men and then have black men reaffirm you and
Yeah.
boost you up, it was just this flow.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
started flowing. And we actually didn't meet. So we met, online for the 100th and 5th affirmation. I think it was around that time.
Okay.
And then we actually met in person on my 365th affirmation.
Yes.
And we didn't even like plan that. It
Yeah.
was just the day that we decided
Yeah.
to meet,
Yeah.
like random.
Yeah. Yeah.
And at that time, I was like in between posting, like I didn't know when my 365th affirmation day would be. But that was the day that we met. You met Nicardo,
Yeah.
who I also am working
Yeah.
with, who's behind the scenes. And we hit it off
Yeah.
immediately. And then ever since then, it's been amazing.
I think I saw from the beginning, as you were starting, you were getting better and better. I'm like, oh, okay. First, I wasn't sure. Is this a cooking show, or is it like it was? I wasn't sure. You were making drinks, and and I'm like, okay. But I saw there was an intention there to encourage others, black men specifically, and I wanted to encourage that. I really, if I'm going to invest in something, if I'm going to give to something, that is something that is bringing light to the world, that's actually making our community better, I want to do that, you know?
Yeah.
And you know, just to see you evolve into 100,000 followers today. So
Yeah.
today is the second milestone that we actually, again, not planned.
Not planned at all.
Like we just happened today, we were scheduled to meet and to do this podcast, and she hit 100,000. So just to see you here, it's a manifestation of what you've always wanted.
Yeah.
And I think, and not only that, it shows what you're saying actually can happen. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Believing in yourself, right? I know that you had naysayers out there, and you bumped into some weird people. What was the pick me nonsense that went on and all that? I couldn't even believe it. But it's amazing. You've come this far. You kept going, you know?
Yeah. Because of people like you. Like seriously,
Yeah.
like you literally supported me with your wallet, with your time, with your attention. And
Yeah.
I think people don't really understand, like there's so much more alignment in our relationship. Like I'm in real estate, and that's how I kind of started my financial independence, is becoming a realtor and then becoming a landlord. Because when my father, the black man in my life, passed away, he left me finances when he died, and I bought my first real estate investment. He left me finances, and he left me a Monopoly set, which is insane. And he left me with a lesson and support. And I used that to become financially free. And once I became financially free enough, right? It wasn't like a lot of money, but it was enough money for me to figure what I really wanted to do out, and I'm community oriented, and I wanted to pour into people. So it was like a black man who gave me the support that I needed to start that. And then once I got on that journey, it's like another black man who was like, I love what you're doing, and I want to support that even further. And it's like, I support black men, black men support me, and then it becomes this beautiful community. And you're in real estate, you're an investor. You're not like, I don't want to call you like a realtor, but you're a landlord. And you flip, and you do it in a way that I wish I would have done it earlier on. And I want to actually ask you a little bit about, you know, your financial journey and how you became financially free on your journey, and like that aspect. But I just wanted to give you your affirmation today and just say thank you. And I really do believe that God put us together, because there's just so many similarities and so many days and so many points where we met, which were really special to me, that are just like alignment. And I feel like I have a friend, I feel like I have a mentor, and I feel like I have a genuine supporter. So when I do get negative comments online, or if I don't feel supported, or if I feel like I'm struggling, I know I can call you. I know that you're going to be there for me, and you're someone who's family oriented, you're someone who has a purpose, and your character is amazing. And, you know, to have someone like you, and I'm still in that phase of trying to still figure it all out, you know, invested in me, especially without having like a father figure in my life. It's like, thank you, God, you know, and I'm just so appreciative of you. And I know you, but I want my followers to know you, because you're just so important to me, and I'm also invested in you, and I want to really, you're not online at all, and so I want to kind of introduce who it is you are, because there's just so much depth there.
I just want to speak to that. I was going to say earlier is that this is how the universe works, right? When you have an intention to do what you've been doing, right? Good things will come to you. Just imagine over 100,000 followers right now, how they have been positively affected by you positively. This, you know, and how that actually has a rippling effect throughout the world. You have no idea. There are people maybe watching you in Africa, China. You don't know. You know what I'm saying? So when you have good intentions, and your attention starts with, listen, I just want to encourage my people, my men, and then to see other black women doing the same. They're pouring into us. You know what I'm saying? So it's become literally this movement. Let's encourage our men. But it started with you, with your intention. You see? And now you're at 100,000, you'll be at 1 million, and who knows where you'll be, you know, 5 years from now. So congratulations again on that.
Thank you so much.
But you had a question about my
Yeah,
Where did I go started financially?
I
Or?
want to know who you are because, to be honest, guys, like I don't connect with just anybody. You know, so many
Right.
people have reached out to me and wanting to connect
Right.
and wanting to build with me and help me, but I'm so protective
Yeah.
over what I've built and
Yeah.
who I hang around because you can get around the wrong people and it can throw you off
That's right.
completely. Or
Absolutely.
someone can have bad intentions for you
Yeah.
and it really sets you back.
Yeah.
And the reason why, you know, we connected online through text and then we connected on the phone and we talked. And what I really value about you is your character, your honesty, your purpose, because you have a purpose, you're
Yeah.
moving in purpose, and your why. And and it's black men like you that pick up communities, you know, around the world within your direct community, and it's black men like you that sustain us and that help us. And I just wanted to introduce you to other black men in my community because it's so important that they see that a version like you is possible.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the internet is flooded with so many different versions of us.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to believe that the rapper lifestyle, that the
Yeah.
jet life lifestyle is the way of
Yeah.
our happiness and our fruition
Yep.
and our abundance.
Yep.
And you're here in real life and you're not online.
Right.
Like we're getting online now, but you're
Right.
not online.
Right.
And
Right.
people don't see
Yeah.
that this is the version
Yeah.
of a black man who is abundantly doing things for not just himself and living in his truth. And it's like, it's so beautiful and you can feel the magnetism, you can feel the energy behind it, you can feel the passion behind it. And that's why you're gonna attract things and people and whatever you want because you're walking in purpose and you're walking with God and it's just so beautiful. And I just wanna expose that and I wanna shed a light on that because it's important that other people see it. So I wanna know about you, who you are, how you've come to this version of yourself.
Wow. That's a loaded question. School of hard knocks, right? I mean, I grew up in Philadelphia, single mom. Started in Southwest Philly, and then we were in West Philly for a good period of time, then North Philly for a year, then back to West Philly. We were like nomads. My mother was always sickly, so she had a condition called sarcoidosis. So she was always losing jobs because she had to leave because of, she was sick. So, I'm used to us being behind on rent, lights going off, and all of those things I've experienced as a child. But what it did is, at 12 years old, I decided to work. I'm like, you know what? I'm tired of the electricity going off. I'm going to work. So I started working at a shoe store and making $1.50 an hour. And
Wow.
and so at that age, I really developed a work ethic. I worked 6 days a week after school. And
At 12.
at 12, yeah, right in West Philly. Yeah, B&S Shoe Store. I'm sure some people have heard of them. They're closed now. And yeah, so I worked there, and it was great. I've learned how to fix toilets. I learned how to put on a roof. I learned how to sell shoes. I learned how to stock. I learned about money management. I've learned that someone can have multiple businesses, right? This man he was a podiatrist. He owned a shoe store. He had real estate. He, what else? He was in Medicare, giving medical supplies for people. He was doing everything. So, we can look at it as a negative, like, wow, 12 years old, you're helping to support your mom. But what I got out of that, I was exposed to seeing how business was actually done. And I was seeing it on a day-to-day basis. Summertime, I was working there and I'm seeing him arguing with contractors and, I saw everything, So it taught me a lot. It taught me a work ethic. And, I think it really developed a sense of, helping to take care of my mother, of taking care of people. It's part of my nature. I just want to help people, So I started there, and what else? Let's see here. Started working at Keystone HMO as a mailroom clerk. And I moved up into marketing. I was, what was it? They called him a contract sales coordinator. No. That was a different company. That was Hunt Manufacturing. But anyway, I had various jobs, and
And you've always been providing for your family since you were 12 years old, is what you're
yeah,
telling
for my
me.
mother.
Wow.
Yeah, for my mom. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Until she passed on, I took care of her. I was
How old?
27 when she passed on.
From 12 to 27.
Yeah.
So, and you took multiple jobs, you were constantly working, supporting yourself and her.
Yeah. I was constantly figuring it out. You know what I mean? And when she got sick, I think about 4.5 years before she passed on, she had a mini stroke, and I told her, I said, look, that's it. You're retired. She's like, how are you going to take care of me? I said, I don't know. We're going to figure it out. She lived in Derby at the time, and we figured it out. I moved her over to Germantown. We had an apartment for her. I had an apartment for her, and got her on Social Security disability, and we worked it out. But I don't regret any of it. You know what I'm saying? Traveling the world throughout Africa, Thailand, and different countries. People have it worse than that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't feel sorry for myself. It taught me a lot, and I think it really taught me how to have empathy for people. So when I see someone who is, less fortunate at right now, or poor, I see myself. So I can identify what they're going through. And so I want to do things to help them get from that point to the next point.
I just think there's a narrative that black men aren't providers. And so that's why I wanted to highlight that moment to it was in you since you were 12. And so it's just another misconception that people have that black men don't support their families. When loved and your mother loved you, she just had a hard time providing because she was sick. And so when it was time to step up to the plate as a young man, you took responsibility as your love for her, and that's just so beautiful. And I'm sorry for your loss that she passed. But after she passed, how were you able to manifest up until 27 to the real estate mogul that you are now and having like this massive wealth?